What's up, everyone? Ryan Flaco Rising. I'm gonna be going over how to build an effective curriculum vitae, which is crafting a powerful resume for career success. Can you all hear me okay and stuff, or it's kind of coming through on this one right here? Let me see. Maybe let me see. All right, all right. So I'm going to be going over how to craft a powerful resume for career success. A little bit about myself. So I'm Ryan Flaco Rising. I went through my associate's degree after I got out of New Folsom State Prison, and then I went into let me see. Yeah, okay. Let me see here. I'm having some technical difficulties. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go. Hey, how's it going? How are you? Thank you for joining us. Here goes some curriculum by tape, and then this is some time management. And I'll have more of the time management. I'm gonna go over a little bit of this, but yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna send it out to you all as well. Yeah, for those who are joining us, there's food in the back and all that, so help yourselves. All right, cool. So building an effective curriculum vitae. So first and foremost, I got out of New Folsom State Prison and I started my associate's degree at San Diego City College. And I didn't know nothing about how to do this journey. So this academic journey, there's a recipe to all parts of it. And there's like a blueprint to be successful. And so I was just showing up, doing all these different presentations and doing all these different events, and there was news media, and they were showing up to all the different things that we were organizing. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that this goes on my academic resume. So today, I'm going to teach you about this academic resume, and I'm going to show you why it's important for scholarships, for fellowships, for your PhD, and also this could set you up for your career pathway as well. If you want to apply for big companies, they definitely rather see a curriculum vitae over a resume. So let's see here. So this is a sign-in survey. You guys already signed in. If you guys want, you could sign in and your email will be in this right here, so you guys can actually have it online. So and I'll always be sending different stuff out to when things come up about grad programs, fellowships, scholarships. I'll be sending it out to everyone that signs into this. Cool. All right. What is a curriculum vitae? I'll ask you all that in my crowd today. Got quite the crowd here. Good to see everyone. Hey.
Academic resume.
So an academic resume, right? There you go. And a curriculum vitae serves as your professional story. It encapsulates your educational background, work experiences, skills, and accomplishments. It's not merely a document. This is your introduction to your potential employers, fellowships, also scholarships, and it also gets you into opportunities and the different opportunities that exist out there, such as grad school and other opportunities that come along when you're traveling through this space. But it's your chance to make a lasting impression in a competitive job market. So I'm here to guide you today through the art of building a CV that not only showcases your qualifications, but strategically positions you as the ideal candidate for the job. And I like to look at grad school like this. It's not necessarily school. Grad school to me is actually a job. It's a job. It's you building yourself up to get to the next level, which is into a career as a professor, into a career, wherever that may be. But it's a job because the difference between undergrad and grad school is grad school, you're gonna get to become a teacher's assistant. So you're gonna have to work and you're gonna have to do a lot more different things within your grad program than as an undergrad. So the art of building the CV is not only showcases your qualifications, but it strategically positions you as the ideal candidate for the job. By the end of this session, you will gain insights into the key elements that constitute a powerful CV and learn how to tailor it to your advantage. Definition of a CV. A curriculum vitae, often abbreviated as CV, is a comprehensive document that outlines your educational and professional background. Unlike a resume, which is typically concise and tailored for specific job applications, a CV is more detailed account of your entire career journey. Key differences between a CV and a resume. One, the length. A CV, you could have a 25, 30 page CV. And so I've seen like professors that their CV is very extensive. A lot of professors will, it's ongoing. So as they're traveling through books, through publishing articles, through all the different speaking engagements that they do, this CV continues to grow. And I'm going to go through that. So the length of a CV is generally longer and more detailed, covering your entire career throughout your journey and in academia and also on into the career that you find yourself in after you graduate and get out into the field. A resume is typically shorter, usually limited to 1 or 2 pages, focusing on specific skills and experiences relevant to a particular job. So the content in your CV is in-depth information about your academic achievements, research publications, presentations, and detailed work history. I also like to add links into my CV just so that folks can actually go and they can actually look at the work that's happening. So one thing that I'm going to suggest is I use my Facebook to just put everything on there. So I put all the different events that I speak at. I put all the different educational things that I do, and that keeps a stamped date. So this is a good way to organize your stuff that you're doing, and it keeps like pictures, and that's also a link, which I call all these links footprints, because these are like footprints that are setting you up for your CV and for showing fellowships and even grant opportunities in the future, all the work that you accomplished. So the content is in depth. And so a resume is going to highlight the specific skills, experiences, and achievements directly related to the job applied for. The purpose of a CV is used primarily for academic research or international job applications where a comprehensive overview of qualifications is essential, and also your PhD program. This is one of the key pieces that is looked at in your graduate application. So flexibility. A CV is less flexible as it allows a standard format and includes comprehensive details. A resume is more adaptable, allowing customization for different job applications. The sections in your CV include sections like education, research, publications, presentations, awards, and detailed work history. And so I actually got an example of a CV template which that has a lot of the different sections that exist in the CV, but there's more that you can add. So you can add different things to it. So like, for instance, news media. So you can add media stuff to it. You can add scholarships. Of course, you're going to have your references at the end. There's other stuff that can be added too. And I'll send out a detailed breakdown of other sections that can be added in. This is more or less just a template just to set you all up. And so, yeah, I'll be sending out after this workshop today. The resume typically includes sections such as contact information, summary or objective, work experience, education, skills, and certifications. So CV format, personal information. This section appears at the top of your CV. You can include your full name, professional title, and contact information. Here's an example of a layout. Pretty much the way I have mine formatted, and you can see it on there. I did my name at the top where it says CV format. So just say, for instance, this is the start of your CV right here. I put my name at the top right there, and then I put my email underneath it. I wouldn't suggest putting your phone number on it. I've heard of folks putting their CV out on the internet and folks grab their phone number off their CV. This is a document that can be shared. It's like a public record as well. Like, so when you apply to certain things, they might put it up on their website as, oh, this is one of our candidates, and showcase your CV. So if your phone number's on there, it gives people access to your phone number that may try to do things. And I've seen different announcements come in email wise. So I just suggest if they ask for your phone number, you give it to them personally at all times. You could put your email on it. And I have my email, and you can also put a LinkedIn. This is something that I haven't done, but it's always a good, to have some sort of social media presence with some of these people that you're going to be giving this CV to. So objective or summary. So I have an objective on mine. This is optional, but it's recommended for providing like a brief overview of what you're trying to accomplish. So in this objective, which I'll send out my personal CV to you all, which it'll showcase what I'm trying to do in mass incarceration through creating workshops and educational opportunities for formerly incarcerated individuals. And that's my objective on mine. So this gives you a couple examples. Clearly state your career objective or offer a professional summary. And the examples that are shown here, like seeking a challenging position in digital marketing to leverage my skills in SEO and content strategy. These are about the right amount of what you want to put in that objective. Nothing too major, just something nice and simple that says what you're trying to accomplish throughout your journey. So the next section would be your education section. And you're going to see throughout this presentation that you're going to want to tailor your sections to who you're trying to appease. So if it's a fellowship, education is going to want to be at the top. If you're applying for research, data, and analysis, you might want to put your research at the top above your education to showcase your research. So you want to tailor this CV to who you're submitting it to, and that's very important. And you'll see, like, it's, for instance, like if you're on the job market, you're going to want to showcase your publications. So you're going to want your publications right after your education, which is going to have all your publications broke down. So list your educational background in reverse chronological order. Include the institution's name, degree earned, graduation date, and relevant honors. So they give a little bit of an example right there. So the CV format goes on into the work experience. Include your professional experience in reverse chronological order as well. Provide details about your roles, responsibilities, and achievements. This is a good example. So marketing manager, the company's name, the dates to when it ended. And then a couple bullet points about what you did. Led a team of marketing professionals in developing, executing successful campaigns, and then increase social media engagement by 30%. So an outcome.
I have a question. Do you put a list of all prior employers that you have been employed with, or you're just gonna tailor it to, I know how you said that you tailor it to what you wanna do, but what if you don't have any prior academic, like work experience and all been,
So I would put all your employers.
Okay.
I would have all your employment, and I would if you're tailoring it to individuals like companies or fellowships, you can showcase how this experience relates to what you're trying to tailor it to. So, and that would be your last two bullet points underneath. But like I said, like in a resume, you're only going to have a page, right? So you can't even put your whole entire work experience on there because maybe you've been in multiple different jobs, right? But in this case, the CV, it allows you to have that all on there. And then you can just go in and fix it up to who you're like sending it to. So great question though. Thank you.
Oh, so, to back her up, so like the last 10 years or like entire?
Yeah, this is your entire journey. So this is your entire journey through every piece of like your employment, schooling, research, articles. So, and like I said, you can tailor it. You don't necessarily need to send this whole resume out with everything on it. You can cut it down. So you can have multiple versions of it, but you're going to want the long one for yourself, just because you never know who you're going to run into that's going to want to check out all the things that you've done. And each experience throughout your journey is different. So each work employment that you've gone through has given you tools. You may not be able to identify them right away, but once you start to break them down, you're gonna be like, dang, I got, I learned Excel right here. I learned Word right here. I learned how to put merchandise into a system and on an Excel worksheet and break down what was all in the store. Like all these different things are different tools and different experiences that make you an asset on different, in different areas. So the next piece would be your skills. You want to highlight hard and soft skills relevant to the job. So with a PhD, you're going to want to talk about the research that you've been a part of. Maybe you don't have research. That's all right, because in all reality, you do have research. And that's what I learned about my journey was it's an autoethnographic research that we're all doing. So I've been doing research and not realizing it by going through all the experiences that I've gone through in my journey. So you can do autoethnographic research and broke down my life experiences and my lived experience, because that's the facts of everything. Being formerly incarcerated, system impacted, and going through the different obstacles that we've gone through has really set us up as major researchers. So talk about those things, but also talk about your research classes. Maybe you've taken methods classes. Who's all taken any methods classes here? Okay. Talk about your sociology classes that you've taken that have introduced you to research. So you want to tailor it. Like for grad school, you want to show that you've been exposed to some sort of research. So use bullet point format for easy readability. And then there goes another example of it. So this example, it's, showing like break down your skills. And you know what? Like I look up skill sets on Google because sometimes you just can't spit out some of the stuff that you're trying to articulate. So I encourage you, if you find yourself with writer's block and you find yourself not being able to like say what you're trying to say about your skill sets, to really get online and try to find skill sets that are out there that you can, insert into your different skill sets to really help you out with that. All right, let's see here. So references. I say put about 3 to 4 references in your CV, and make sure that these references know that you're going to put them on there. I've made mistakes where I've put somebody on there and I didn't tell them they were on my CV, and then they got called and they're like, "Hey, Flock, like, why'd you give my number out to so-and-so?" And I'm like, "Oh, bro, I meant to tell you," so you definitely want to, yeah. They're like, "Who, Ryan Flaco,
Yeah.
Flaco, how'd you get my number?" That's for, so you want to make sure that you tell your references that they are going to be on your CV, and they're going to be there for a very long time. But you can actually, like I said, tailor your CV so that your references are most recent, your most recent interactions with professors, with higher up individuals that you've worked with, researchers, your bosses and your employment. I would look for more of your recent interactions than keeping some old interactions, unless you continuously interact with that person.
How many would you say is a good amount of references?
I would say 3.
Solid.
Yeah, 3 solid ones. And I would look at your most recent interactions, because that's at the forefront of your references mind, and they can actually really break down that interaction and all the different skill sets that you showed them in your interactions with them. So, and then there's an example, which you want to make sure you have the right names and contact information. So you want to cross-check these references. And then that's a way of breaking it down right there. So formatting tips: use a clean and professional layout. Choose a readable font. Gives you a couple examples, Arial and Calibri, and with consistent formatting. Maintain a balance between text and white space for visual appeal, and be consistent with bullet points, headings, and indentation. So I also clean it up and I make it look nice. If you go to insert and then you put a horizontal line, I like to break my sections up with horizontal lines. It makes it look really nice. And I'll show you my own personal CV after this. It just makes it look cleaner. It splits everything up so everything doesn't kind of like go into it, doesn't bleed into each other. So you can separate all your different itemized sections. So ensuring a well-structured CV with these sections will make it easier for employers to quickly assess your qualifications and decide if you are the right fit for the position. As we move forward, we'll also explore each section in more detail to guide you through the process of creating a compelling CV. So now I'm going to jump into the do's and the don'ts, and helping you all like really just understand this process. This CV is a very critical, important piece to your journey moving forward. And so I'm excited for y'all to get started on building this out. So crafting a compelling CV involves paying attention to both what to include and what to avoid. Let's explore a list of do's and don'ts to guide you in creating a standout curriculum vitae. Do tailor your CV. Customize your CV for each job application, each grad school, each department that you apply for, each fellowship. You want to make sure that you really customize and tailor your CV to who you're giving it to. So you want to strategize that. And sometimes you may just have a put together CV that you can just float around, but I would really tailor it and really really think it through just to get the best results out of it. Do use action verbs, begin bullet points with action verbs to showcase your achievements and responsibilities effectively. Do prioritize key information. Place the most important information, such as work experience and skills, towards the beginning of your CV. But like I was saying, and I'm kind of being a little repetitive, you want to tailor to who your audience is. So if you're applying for a graduate program, you don't want your research experiences at the bottom. You want your research experiences right underneath your education. So you want to make sure that you're tailoring this to your audience, and you move everything up. So if you're going for fellowships, or you're going for scholarships, I would move your different scholarships and your different things that you've gotten in the past. I would move that up to the top. You want to showcase those awards and those scholarships and all those different things. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're already a little bit through, but I'll give you some of the information and stuff too. And I'm recording it too, so I could send the video out later as well. But thank you. All right, so do quantify achievements. Quantify your accomplishments with numbers or percentages to demonstrate the impact of your work. So, for instance, in the beginning, when we were talking about different employment that you went through and how it was a 30% increase of social media presence. You want to identify these in percentages. You want to identify, like, if, for instance, a recruitment of 11 students or 15 students I helped recruit to come to UC Irvine. You want to quantify these things and show that to the individuals that you're giving this CV to. Do check for consistency. Ensure consistency in formatting, font, and bullet points throughout your CV for a polished look. So, I mean, as you're on the go building your CV, I've done it in the past where I see like a fellowship and I just look at what it's calling for and I just slide it in. But I've entered stuff from my Facebook onto it, and the stuff that I entered onto it, it actually wasn't formatted correctly to look the same, and I just submitted it. And after I submitted and I looked, I was like, oh man, I didn't format it correctly. So you want to make sure that you take the time to really get your format correct and you really get it in there so it looks all consistent and nice. And as you're moving around and you're doing all these different workshops, you're doing all these different events, you're doing all these different media news articles, it's kind of hard to keep track. So I want to encourage you guys, everything you do goes on this, everything. So I want to encourage you all to get in the habit of putting everything down. So events, speaking engagements, different workshops, go down there, different articles, different work things that you're doing. Like if you see yourself working for a program on campus or volunteering, all of this goes on there. So there's a community service section, a volunteer section, all these different sections, and you want to make sure that you document everything. This is your footprint. So, and I'm really big on footprints, especially in where we're at. You want to create footprints. You want to have links. Like that's what I call links nowadays. They're footprints that are forever. If you got something that's got a link online, it's there forever. So news articles, videos, all these different things, they're all footprints that are going to be there forever. Do proofread and eliminate typos and grammatical errors to present a professional and attention to detail image. Don't include irrelevant information. Avoid cluttering your CV with unrelated details. Focus what is pertinent to the job. So, like I said, you can have multiple CVs. You want a CV that has everything, like everything that you're doing. You want that. That's an important CV. And that could be 30, 40, 50, 100 pages long. But you want to pull the information that's going to make you stand out with whoever your audience is. Pull that information, create a CV off that. And so I mean, some audiences are gonna want to see that long 100 pager, but there's gonna be a lot of audiences that are just gonna want that 5-6 page CV with the information that's showcasing your experiences that are tailored to what you're asking to be a part of or what you're applying for. Don't use personal pronouns. Skip personal pronouns like I, me, my. To maintain a professional and concise tone. Don't use unprofessional email addresses. Opt for a simple and professional email address, avoiding nicknames or inappropriate choices. Don't include generic statements. Steer clear of generic objectives or summaries. Be specific about your career goals and achievements. So, like I was telling you earlier, don't include much personal information. Like, don't want to put your telephone number on there. Your personal details like age, marital status, or social security number, unless explicitly required. That's not all going to go in this at all. And like I said, really be selective on putting your phone number, and make sure, your email, that's one thing. But, just know that these CVs get published online, and for certain fellowships to showcase, oh, we've given money to this person right here. Here's what their CV looked like. And that's why we gave them the money. So that email could be there. So people could reach out to you from the internet. And so you just got to be prepared for that. Don't use a one size fits all approach. Avoid sending the same CV for different applications. Tailor it to the specific role. Don't rely solely on job descriptions. Provide context and specific examples of your achievements rather than copying job descriptions. And like I said, put in percentages and quantify those different things to make you stand out. And don't neglect formatting. Refrain from using overly complex or decorative formats. Simplicity and clarity are key. Common mistakes to avoid: typos and errors. Proofread meticulously to catch any spelling or grammatical mistakes. Overcrowded layout. Maintain a balanced layout and adequate white space for visual appeal. Incomplete contact information. That's important. Ensure that all your contact information is up to date and easily accessible. And lack of specifics. Be specific about your achievements and quantify whenever possible. And I keep emphasizing that. So my final thoughts: crafting a compelling CV is not merely a formality. It's your personal marketing tool in the competitive job market. By adhering to the standard CV format, paying attention to and do's and don'ts, and avoiding common mistakes, you elevate your chances of standing out to potential employers. Remember, a well-structured CV is more than just a document. It's a reflection of your professional journey, achievements, and potential contributions to future endeavors. Each section of your CV serves a purpose in painting a comprehensive picture of who you are as a candidate. Thank you. Appreciate you all. So any questions? I know you came in a little after, but we appreciate you joining us. So definitely. Any questions? Go ahead.
I wanted to bring up that, just like in a resume, so let's say you're gonna use a teacher's email address or boss's email address that is linked to the company. If you can, if possible, get their personal, because employers move to new companies, teachers go to other schools, and their email handle will change, and so that's just it's a dead contact if it's not their personal.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's a good
I've had
point.
that, I've had literally.
Cause you want it to look like professional, right? And then they leave or something, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
Get their generic.
if the teacher leaves from UCI and they're at wherever, or somewhere else, it's not non-existent anymore.
Right. Yep, no, that's a good point. Yeah, thank you for sharing that because it happens. And like I said, you want to make sure that you look at your cross-reference your stuff before you send it out to who you're sending it out to. Because your references are really important. So your references, they do call them, they do check on you, especially when you're applying for $356,000. You know, they're gonna want to know your experiences, they're gonna want to know, you know, and that's what we're doing here. So grad school, who's all going to apply to grad school? Okay, so graduate school, they're going to give you over $100,000 a year to be in their program. So grad school's fully funded. So they're going to do their homework on you. And so this is actually the tool that helps them not have to do so much homework on you. And so you really want to tailor this CV so that it stands out and it makes you look different than everyone that's applied. And that's why I said, if you got links to some of the stuff that you've done in your journey, put your links on there. You could put them you could even say, for instance, you can insert link, right? Do folks know how to insert a link into like some writing? Insert a link into some writing on there, and that they'll be able to access that link and they'll go to it, and trust and believe they're sitting in a room for weeks as they're making their choices for candidates. Weeks. They're sitting there 8 hours a day. So trust and believe they're not actually reading all this material and stuff at times. They're just scrolling on links that were put in there, and they're listening to your work. They're reading your articles. They're reading your work. And so you want to make sure that you stand out differently. And so a little bit of my experience applying to grad school, I made sure that I had a bunch of links, and I felt that that's what made me stand out. Another thing, I made sure that I applied, and after I applied, I shot an email to every faculty member in the department introducing myself. So I want to encourage you all to get an email going, and I tailored it to each one of their research interests, and I shot my writing sample to them. So I made sure, because you don't know who's on that committee, but there's going to be at least 4 members from that department that are going to be in that room making the decisions at the end. You don't know who they are, but if you write an email to each faculty in that department and you introduce yourself, you best believe you're going to look a lot different and stand out a lot different than every other student, because not every other student is doing that. So these were things that I did that I felt made me stand out. And I got accepted into UC Irvine, and I got accepted into Harvard, and UCSB, it was political. They didn't accept, it was around politics, you know, that's why they didn't accept me. And I stood up to it, you know, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you stand out over all the rest of the candidates. And you got to do extra things to make sure of that. So that was a one of my ways of standing out. Other things that I did, I mean, in your undergrad, I say this: do as much community service as possible. Go to as many community resources that exist and do as much outreach as possible. Go and shake as many hands as possible in your undergrad. That social capital is what's key, that's going to help you get to the next level. So you want to make sure that you're showing up and doing all these different events. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, but it just makes you stand out. And most of all, it's like it's self gratification. You know what I'm saying? It helps uplift you and your experiences, and it also helps you gain all that social capital and stand out in your CV. So I encourage you, if you can get out and do some feeding to the house list, doing different community service around Irvine, and showing up to different opportunities that exist out there to do community service, please do. And so yeah, the other things that I could say would be, Maybe. Yeah. Does anybody have questions online? My bad. Here, let me see real quick. Yeah, I'll let everyone unmute. I just had that like kind of protected here. Does anybody else have any other questions right here too? Just yeah, you guys can unmute yourself online too if you want to chime in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I missed like half of everything that you were stating. I was taking a quiz. And so, sorry, I thought it was my, ooh man, I look like a hot mess. Sorry, came from the gym and all that stuff too. I didn't really get all the information, so I was gonna ask you if can you send me the PowerPoint or we could speak some other time, or if you're gonna make another
Well, yeah, it's recorded. So yeah, don't trip. I'm gonna send the recording out to the email thread too, to everyone on the email thread. So yeah, so you'll be able to catch the first part of it. And then also I'm gonna send out the CV template to everyone. So if you want, you could fill out, do the sign-in sheet. And I'm gonna send out the CV template to get everyone started on their CV. And so yeah, so any other questions? Yeah.
I'm super happy that you're doing this because
Yeah.
I literally met with Ananda last quarter and was like, I need help. I don't know what to do on this. And she's like, talk to Flaco. And then this came up. So I was like, cool.
Awesome, I got you. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, this is the graduate application. Let me break down that. I'm gonna simplify the graduate application for all of you right now. Your CV, your personal statement, your statement of purpose, and your writing sample. So this is the first piece, is your CV. So now I want you all to go back into your mind, if you don't have all this stuff that you've done written down anywhere, but start to roll out your CV and develop that CV. And next workshop will be around personal statements. I'm going to send out a personal statement breakdown of how to write a successful personal statement. And I'm also going to give you all my personal statement. Some of us come with lived experience, and I want you to know that that lived experience is important. So I don't want anyone to hesitate on sharing their lived experiences in their personal statement, but also a personal statement it's an opportunity for you to brag. It's an opportunity for you to be like this, to flex, like this is what I did in my undergrad journey. This is what I did in my associate's degree journey. And this is what I did in my high school journey. Okay. Go ahead, my boy.
Hey, what's up, Flaco?
What's up, Ricardo? How you doing, homie?
I'm on the big screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I like this, and I think that when you come here to the University of Guadalajara, it's important that we kind of highlight this guidance, because I mean it's like there is a lot of there are public policies to include vulnerable populations, inclusion. Mexico has a very kind of inclusive system of law, but in reality, once you get to these privileged spaces, because even if you're in like a prestigious public university like the UNAM, the UDG, you don't really know what to do. I mean, I've never known what to do. And especially when you get to PhDs, it's always, people who have family that have already studied PhDs, that have postgraduate degrees. And it's very difficult, I think, for people like you and me to be in these spaces and know what to do and how to do it. Nobody explains this to us. So I think it's very useful.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you say that too, because
Yeah.
honestly, I would have never known about the CV if it wasn't for Danny Murillo. And as soon as Danny Murillo broke it down for me, just like I broke it down for you all right now, that's how he broke it down to me. Just like that, I was like, oh my God, what? So man, let me sign up for community service. let me do this. The media. Oh, let me run over there and tell him, yeah, I'm ready for an article. Like, so as soon as he taught me the power of the CV, I was like, I need to fill in these lines. So panel presentations, moderator. I don't really have much moderation. I've done classes like teaching, like this workshop right now is a line on the CV. It's a teaching experience. So, and so you have to like kind of develop these for yourself too. So I want to encourage you. Tell your professor, hey, I want to get up in front of the class and I want to talk about this. That's a line on your CV. You're teaching a whole entire auditorium, or you're unpacking your paper for folks. So there's a lot of things that you're doing in your journey that you're not realizing go on your CV. And so I want you to really look at the structure of the CV. I'm going to send it out later and I'll even show you my own personal CV and then tailor it to all your experiences and really put the dates down and really put your lines down and really showcase everything that you did throughout this journey so far. So, but I'm glad you're saying that, Rick, because you're right. Nobody's going to tell you this stuff. Nobody's going to give this stuff to you. And so this is the blueprint to success right here. And so I'm glad that everyone was able to join. I'm glad that it's being recorded. Is there any other questions or any other things that anybody wants to learn about with this process? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna also go into time management a little bit. And so everyone got it right here. Folks aren't really gonna be able to see it online, but I do have more of these sheets. I am the FISI peer educator. And so I want you to grab these, but we are developing something right now. So time management schedule sheet. I wanna help everyone be successful in their undergrad. My wife, she's all about time management. We have a calendar right there in the house. All the times are broke down where our meetings are at, what time we gotta be there. So time management is the key to success. And so this paper right here, it goes through block scheduling. And so you could put your date on, your name, your date, and then you can block schedule it out. I can send these to people too if folks want a copy of this, but I encourage you all to do block scheduling. So this is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So in your block scheduling, Monday through Sunday, you're gonna want to put in what time you're doing your readings, what time you're doing your studying for a quiz. Each day you want to break down your time. You want to get into this good habit of time management. This time management is going to help you be successful in your classes. It's going to help you not forget and be reminded at all times. And also it's going to have it's going to help you be accountable. So I want to encourage you all to take the stuff I have right here. I also am working on something right now. It's the FISI services. It's the success planner, and it's going to be a full planner. And I'll have all of these inside that. So as soon as they're done, I'll email it. I'll email out to everyone that they're done, and you can pick up your success planner. But time management was what got me a 4.0 when I was in my undergrad. So when I was at UCSB, I would like right now, remember this and keep this at the forefront of your mind. Everything right now is temporary. This is only a couple years of dedication, right? You're not going to be in school forever. So dedicate your time to all your different classes and really structure out your time throughout your days to advance yourselves. And there's a few things that I want to give you guys to just take away. Read your readings. I struggle with it. And I just want to encourage you all to read those readings. Those readings are what sets you up to be in conversation with everyone in your field. So I didn't understand that. And so one of my mentors told me, Flaco, you have to read the readings. The reason why they give you so many readings is because you're actually starting to insert yourself in those conversations. How can you be involved with the conversation if you don't even know what the conversation's talking about? So those readings, read. That's like gonna take up most of your time, is the reading side of these classes. But it's also gonna set you up for your writing. Reading a lot of those readings sets you up to be able to write and conversate with those readings. And it also gives you the formatting of these academic journal articles. You want to really pay attention to the way they format those papers. So here you got an abstract, an introduction, you got a literature review, you got methods, you got findings, and then you got conclusion and you got references. You want to see how they tell their story. Each journal article is going to tell a story differently. And then you get good at grabbing the chunk of the material that you need in order to understand the conversation and insert yourself in it. So you don't necessarily at a point have to read everything. You get good at grabbing that information that you really need to insert yourself in that conversation in your writing. And so that's kind of like some of my stuff for you all. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything to help them in their journey? Nah? Cool. All right. Well, hey, thank you for joining us. Anybody online? How about you, Rick? You got anything else you want to say? Casey, you want to say anything else?
No, I'm good. I think it would be good that in the future we do create some type of some joint classes, no, with us down here and you guys over
In
there.
Guadalajara? Yeah, I think that would be cool. We could do that. We'll set that up. Yeah, take care. Definitely. Thank you for joining us. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yup, I'm with it.
yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, that's the workshop for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Great information.
All right, Flaco, have a good one.
Likewise.